Is anyone celebrating birthday today? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the device is recognized. I'm running the application. You can all see the application on Visor. Allow. Yeah, you see that the text is showing available here. Okay, I'll change my mode from dark to light, and you'll see. As the storage space is available, I'm getting available here. Okay, nice. So before we further proceed with the logic, we should check if the calling or check callings or check self permission. Right? External storage is not equal to or is equal to package manager dot permission granted. Okay. So we're just checking if the permission is granted for us or not. Okay. If the permission is granted, only then we can proceed to next logic. Okay. So when the permission is granted, first thing that we're gonna do is, yeah, we did it, no, Akanksha. We already did it. See, we did this already. We don't need this at all. Tools ignore is not needed. Let's leave it as it is. Write external reads. Okay. So here we are supposed to first create the folder. Create the folder of your interest. So how do we do it? File folder equals to environment dot get external storage public directory. I'm just picking up a public directory which is a part of external storage. And which directory I'm interested in? Environment dot directory downloads. You can also choose directory alarms, directory images, etc. It is up to you. Once the folder is chosen, you can create another file called, okay, I can call it file is equal to new file. Okay, we don't have open file input, open file output methods here in the external storage for accessing external storage. Just have to create a new file and then start writing the data into the file and finally save it. So the process is pretty much rustic. Okay. Okay. Right. So first give the folder name. So the folder name I'm giving here and then give whatever the name you would like to give. Whatever the name you would like to give. For example, I would say my or nourish external file.txt. Now it's your time to write. It's a time to write the code to save data into the file. So when you want to write data into the file, you need a output stream object pause. And how do you want to initialize it? Pause is equal to new file output stream and give the file whichever you want to write. Now add surround with try catch. Make this catch class handle more exceptions by changing this type to exception because exception is the superclass of all exceptions. Now finally, first.write off name you need to write and then give a backslash n because you want to write age also. When everything is taken, you need to convert this to get bytes dot get bytes. And this UTF-8 nothing standard character nothing is needed. Simple. Finally, if you do not call fos.close, okay, if you do not call this, the data will not be saved. Will not be saved. So I'm just running the application. Okay, the app is up and running. Now I'll give some name here. Age, let's say 22 from the past 8 years. If I hit on save, the data is reset, meaning that the logic has executed. So this logic has executed. Now where do I locate my file? My file name is nareshextfile.txt. So you jump into the device file explorer. Do not go to data because data will only hold internal storage files. Head to SD card. And in the SD card, you can head to downloads. And in the downloads, you would see Naresh ext file.txt. You can double tap and see that you will find Pawan and 22. Right? So it is being created. You can actually copy this. Copy path. You can save it as on the desktop also you can save it if you want to. Okay. So this is in a public directory. Even on mobile phone I can see, but I have a lot of personal things here in the downloads. So that is why I'm not showing it on the file, on the device. Okay. So yeah. So this is how you create a file in external storage of Android. Now, how do you read the contents of it? That is another functionality that we should do. And before we proceed to there, we shall also put our focus back to person name. So how do we put our focus back to person name? We simply have to call get or request focus. Okay. That would get the focus on top of the person name instead of person age as it is right now. Okay. So how do we load data? How do we load data? Simple. First of all, you need to create a folder of your interest and create a file of your interest. Simple. Both the lines I'll copy because the file is the same. The file is nareshextfile.txt. That is what I want to open. So if you want to read data, you need file input stream object. So file input stream, I would like to call it this, and this equals to new file input stream. Then pass the file name. File name is file. If anyone without entering name and age, if they save their data, what will happen? Yes, the data will be saved as empty also. If you want to avoid it, yes, you can avoid it. I'll show you how. Okay, I'll show you how. Yeah, good question though, Altaf. Surround with try catch. Change this file not found exception to a regular exception. And you want to read data out of it. If you want to read data out of it, we have a pre-built logic. We used it multiple times already. So you need to have a buffer reader or a scanner. I'm using buffer reader. I'm a personal favorite for buffer reader. New buffer reader, new input stream reader. This has to be passed. And once it is passed, you know that you need to create a string called line. You initialize it to empty, and then you create a string builder object. S3 is equal to new string builder. So this is all quite done already. Okay. Now you write the while statement. While first initialize the data from br.readline to line and check if it is not null. If it is not null. So if it is not null, what we can do is we can actually proceed to append data to this file. So line, which is read already, and then a backslash n at the end. Once this is read, simply pass the data to the result object. Yeah, person result dot set text of this sb dot toString. That's it. That's all of it. Okay. Now if you run the application, the app is up and running. If I hit on load data, I get power and 22 because it is already saved into the file. Now, okay. Any questions here when loading the data? Okay. Can I take the silence as a no? All right. Thank you, Akansha, for responding. So, Altaf was asking a question. See, if nothing is entered on the form, let us say nothing is entered on the form, how does this logic further proceed? How does this logic work in the future, in further modes? Okay, we can actually check if the data is empty or null. Okay, based on that, we can also throw an error. Okay, I'll show you how. I'll show you how. So this entire if will be associated with another if. If n dot equals ignore case of empty, or a dot equals ignore case of or person age dot get text dot to string dot equals of empty, then we are not supposed to proceed with the logic. So do not proceed, but throw an error. Throw an error. If the case is else, then we can proceed further. Okay. That is why I'm putting this entire logic inside this else block. Now here in the if case, how do we set date? How do we set error? Okay. You can write person name dot set error, and you write data cannot be null or empty. In a similar way, for person age also, set error data cannot be empty. Now we run the application and try to see the difference. Oh shit. Why is it crashing? Okay, let me crash it once again. Ah, okay, number format exception. Okay, right. Could not resume the wrong round cake. Why? Ah, okay, yeah, number format exception is coming here. So it is better to put these lines. So you can just cut them here. You can just cut them here. Put them inside the cells logic. Okay, that would fix it. So here, instead of person name, you can write person name dot get text dot equals ignore case. Okay, dot to string. Okay, I forgot to write to string here. To string dot equals ignore case. Okay, I have a question here. Why? The reason is if there is no data, there will be a string called null, sorry, empty, isn't it? So the error says that this integer, this double quotations cannot be converted into an integer, or whatever there is empty. There is no equivalent match for empty in integers. That is the reason you got this error. It says java.lang.number format exception for input empty. That is the reason we shifted the lines from the top to the else block. Because generally in the else block only we are performing the actual logic. Correct? That is the reason. You understood it? Okay. Now if you hit on save, you get errors here. Data cannot be empty. And here also you get another error. It says data cannot be empty. Did you see how the errors are appearing? Nice, no? So this is how we set up data. We check if the data is correct or not. Thanks, Altaf, for asking this question. Um, in general, when you are developing an application to release, you're supposed to make sure everything is properly put in. Before pressing save button, if error comes, person will get confused. Huh. Okay, you can also show an error when there is a shift in the text boxes. That is also possible. Just have to explore, ask question on Google, you'll get the answer easily. However, this is a good question to good thing to check, right? With that, external storage comes to an end. I'm closing down the project. I'm going to share with you a beautiful website. I'm just closing Android Studio also because I don't have anything to explain. However, tomorrow we will be learning about SQLite. How do we use SQLite on Android? So tomorrow that is our topic. For that reason, I'd like to show you a beautiful website and also will give you a set of commands to practice. Okay. I will tell you all those commands here or queries here. Then we will jump in onto the actual SQLite concept tomorrow. Hope that helps. If you haven't worked on SQL so far, it will help you a lot. Correct? So I'd recommend you to go to sqliteonline.com. Friends, this is sqliteonline.com. Okay. So here you can create databases, database tables. You can insert data, retrieve data, update data, delete data, drop the tables. You can do all the basic operations, whatever we do on a normal SQL. Okay. So basically, what is SQL? Let me open a classroom link. So what is SQL? SQL is structured query language. So SQL is the language of the databases. SQL is the language of the databases. Okay. So these databases are generally hosted on the servers. However, for Android, they are available on the device. So the basic reason for using SQL is to have a relational database ready. To create a relational database, we need SQL. For Android, we use SQLite Online, SQLite database. Okay, so we will see the queries one after the other. First of all, let us see how to create a table. How do we create a table? And for this, I will be using a table reference. Okay, and the table reference is simply student or person ID, person name, and person age. Let us say the same design I'm going to pick up. Okay, so if you want to create a table, all you need to do is you remove this query here and write a query. Yes, Altaf, you're right. Create table. The table name is person. And what are the entities or the column names in the table? The first column name is person underscore ID, which is an integer. Which is an integer. It is a primary key. So you know what is primary key? It is auto increment. So primary key is a key that is unique across all the rows of the table. So with the help of primary key, we can guarantee that the rows are unique in a table. In whatever the table you have with multiple columns, the rows data must be unique. If that is the case, we should pick up primary key. Auto increment is something that will add up a value to the integer in the row, in the column, as new rows gets added up. So if you are inserting a new entry, if you are inserting a new entry, your ID will be generated automatically. Next, so we have person underscore name as the second value, which is of type text, and person underscore age, which is of type integer once again. So if you write this command, so if you write this query and execute it, you will get a table created here. So before I click on this run, I would like to zoom back and hit on run. You see that there is a person table created, and you also see that the command is executed properly. So this is the command for creating of tables. Okay, simply copy it. Did I copy it? Control C. Let us check. Create a table. Create a table. So how do we do that? This is how we do it. This is the query that we write. Next. Next, the general command is to insert data into the table. So how do we insert data into the table? You're supposed to write another lengthy query. Insert into person. What do we have? Person underscore name. I'm not going to insert person underscore ID because it is auto incremented, right? And what values do I want to insert? I want to insert my name, and I also want to insert my age 10 years ago. So this is the query that you are supposed to write in order to insert values into the table. Now, if you hit on run, the query is successfully run. Okay. So this is the command for insert. Now you may say, sir, you are going fast. Insert values. Yes, I am going fast. However, this can be easily practiced. Okay, by looking at these queries, you'll understand how to do things in an appropriate way. You'll get the clarity. Okay, if you are not understanding at any point in time, please let me know. Now, I'd like to see the values of the table. So, what is the command that I should work with? Select star from person. If you work with this command, you would see whatever the table values that we have. We have got 1, power, and 20 as the values. What if you want to insert more details or more values? Instead of power, I can write alt of. Okay, age 20, I don't know how many years back. So if you hit on run, the command is executed. If I hit on this run button on the select query, I get alt of values as well. In the similar way, if I want to enter another person's value, let's say Akanksha. So age, let us say 20, or let us go with 22 this time. If I hit on run, the values are added. If I hit on this select command, the values are retrieved. Okay. With the select command, or sorry, with the select query, you get to use clauses as well. Select star from person where, okay, order by, person age, DESC for descending order. If I just run this command, I see Akanksha comes first because the age is given on a larger number. If I write ASC instead of DESC, if I write ASC, then usually my name would come first. Okay. So this is how order by clause can be used. Okay. Read values from the table. We have a select query, select star from person. This is what we can use. Order by, this is what we can use. Okay. So now I want to only get a person with, or for all the persons that are of age 20 only. So select star from person where person age is equal to 20. If I run this command, I would only get persons with age 20 only. So this is how we use where clause to write further conditions when sorting out the data. So this is where clause. Okay. In the similar way, I also have another set of commands which I prepared. Let me get them for you. I have it handy here. Let me get them for you. Documents. You can see them here on the notepad. Okay. So these commands you can practice easily. So this is a very understandable file, I would say. Wait, I'll open it again. So for select command, everything is given. Update command and delete command also, we have these commands handy. So copy it and paste it in the notes, which would help you further when you are learning it. These are not commands, guys. Sorry, I'm actually sounding them as commands. These are actually queries: update query, delete query, drop query. So these are all queries, right? So try to utilize these notes for learning structured query language. I'll also include this skletonline.com link in the same material. However, I will also show you another important thing on GitHub, Bitbucket. Okay, add the link. Now we can save it and then come back to our folder. So there will be a file by the name documents batch 15. So here it is. So I'm just adding another file. What? Okay, SQL commands are already present here. Okay, you can go to these commands. Let me push entire code. Git add dot git push now git commit. See why I'm gonna git commit right now. External storage. Git push origin master. Nice. Please upload it. So if you open Bitbucket, you would see SQL commands.md. Just have to open it and you can see all the commands easily here. Please work on these things, guys. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. Like to understand the topic, also it would be very difficult. Okay. Thank you. So this is a short session for the day because if I start SQL like today, I will not be definitely not able to cover it up by the end of the session. It is impossible. It will take at least 1 hour time to finish it. So that is the reason we are closing the session a bit early. Thank you, everyone. I wish you a fantastic day ahead.